Hey, what's up everyone? So I was asked about my color grading and I use Powergrades in Davinci Resolve with just a few clicks, and I wanted to help everyone out by showing the quickest way possible to color grade your S-log3 footage and also my GoPro FPV footage, drone footage. So I'm going to show you how to do that today through Davinci. And once you install the Powergrade, which is pretty much, I guess, a preset to set you up to grade, but I've got everything set up in a way where you just can apply it, and if you want to add LUTs on top, you can, or add your own color grades, you can, but this will get you in a good position to start uh, or even finish. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get started. So first, when you go to the DaVinci Resolve site, you can go ahead and go to download DaVinci Resolve. There is a paid version, but I don't really care to use it. For what you get from me, I don't use those features. But you can look more into it to see if that's something you like. I just use the free version. So you're going to click on that and download it and install it. And once you install it, then it will pop up here on the bottom, and you click on this and it will open. Now when you get to here, this will be your first screen, and I've included some clips for you to mess around with and everything. So when you get to here, the first thing I'd like you to do is go to the folder where you downloaded my clips. You're going to open it up and highlight all of them and drag them right here. I'm going to exit that. What I'm going to do is go to File, Settings, and then I'm going to keep my timeline on 25. I like to do 25 just because I don't get any skipping. It's the closest to 24 without getting skipping on Instagram. So that's why I do 25. I like the motion blur with what it does, but you can choose which time frame you want. But I record all my footage in 25 unless I'm going to do slow motion, which I'll go over that in a minute. And then go to color management. And since I'm on a Mac, I'm going to make sure my timeline color space and output color space is in Rec. 709A. So when you have S-log3 footage, you have to convert it to Rec. 709 to get the colors back, because when you're shooting S-log3, it's going to be flat. And then I change my 3D look at table to here, and I hit save. Here, we're going to go ahead and just pull, let's say this clip over right here. And what you can actually click on this and hit the letter P, and it'll tell you what frame rate it's at. So it's at 25, so it's not a slow motion clip. You can even, if I double click on here, and scroll through, I can right click, mark in, say this is the spot I like, and then mark out, so or 4 or 5. Then I can drag that down, and it's only going to drag down what I did, so instead of the whole clip. Okay, so after you go here, you will go to the color tab right here at the bottom, and then go to right here. It says Powergrade 1. You'll see gallery, LUTs, media pool. Go to the gallery and Powergrade. Right click, import with output LUT, and then you will find the folder where you downloaded my Powergrades. And then when you find that folder, click on the DPX file and then import. Let me do DPX and import. Right click and then hit apply grade. Now it might look a little funky. If it does, right click over here and hit clean up node graph. It will organize it for you. Now to install the other one, same thing, import with output LUT. Go to the next one, DPX, import, right click, import with output LUT, DPX, import. Now you have two different ones right here. So this one is for if you download the Phantom LUTs, the Phantom RA LUTs. And this one's is if you don't want to do that and you just want to use the color space transform. I like that RA look. So if you want to download that, then you can actually go to, I'll leave the link in the description. You'll go to this website and I'll give you all the options, and you can download the whole thing or one of them. I just use this one right here. I have the whole one, but I use just the RA look pack, 5-pack, and I use the neutral. Then this one, the S-log3 Powergrade. So let me come over here. Let me do another one. So I can come right here and double click, find this part I want. Maybe I want this right here. Right click, mark in, right click, mark out, or 4-5. I can hit P to see if it's in 50. So it's in 50. So since it's in 50, I did that on purpose to slow it down to 25 to do slow motion. So I just switched the frame rate to 25 and hit OK, and now everything will be in slow motion. So I'm gonna click and hold and drag down. Drag somewhere in the clip. I'm gonna click on it, go back to the color grade option, and now I'm gonna go to this one. As you see, it'll give you a preview of what it looks like. You can actually scroll through the clip right here to see what it looks like. I'm gonna hit right click, apply grade. Right click, clean up node graph. You can use a scroll wheel to scroll in and out. You can make these bigger and smaller by doing this. Or if I wanted the phantom look, I would just right click and apply grade. So let's just keep this one up for right now. So each one of these on the right is a node to modify a different thing. So it's pretty much already ready to go. I've already set up a little bit and just to make it ready to go, but you can always add more contrast or add things you want to do to it. If you want to change the colors, add a LUT, or just change the exposure. So what I usually do is I'll go to primary, I'll click on this one on the left over here, and I'll use the gain to change the exposure. As you see, I might just bring it down a little bit. I usually have this on -1, just keep a little bit blacks in. But as you see, I can command Z to go back, the gamma, offset. And then you can come here to contrast, how much contrast you want, command Z. You can come over to HDR grade. This is already set up. If you want to change how much saturation you want, let me actually, so I can show the saturation better. Now let's say I want a different part of this clip, but I don't want to change how long it is. I can click right here and just scroll. So now this is the part of the clip. So come back to the color grade. I can actually change the saturation right here under global. I can bring it really far down. I can bring it really far up. I usually keep mine around 20, but it's personal preference. Now you can go here and change the saturation right here, but I just don't like how it does it. I think it's just doesn't look as good. But all of this is ready to go. And then you can go color grade from here if you want. You can go to balance. Things look off an image. You can always come in here and change how much of that color you need back. If there's too much red in the image, you can pull it back, or too much, you need more green. You can come in these and move them around. Command Z to go back on everything. You have curves, and you can bring it down if you want, like you would do in Lightroom. Maybe you want more curves, maybe you want some more fade. You can make a S curve. See, so bringing in some more contrast. I can right click on each one or bring it down to bring it back to normal. I can bring it back. Or you could always right click on it, hit reset node graph. That works too. Temperature, come over here. If it's too warm or too cold, you can move this. Command Z, or maybe too much pink or too much green. I wouldn't touch this. This is good. And then if you want to add a LUT, everything's good to go over here. You just would click on LUT. You would go to your LUT section. I like using Cinegram's LUTs. I think they're pretty good. And then you would just go over, and you can see as you scroll, you can see what the LUT's going to look like. So one of my favorites, I like the Blissful one, Blissful Burnout. Right click, apply to current node, and now you're already done with that. If you want to change the intensity, this little box right here, you can click right here and go to gain. Down, up, and how much LUT you want. I usually keep it around 4.45. 0.45. If you want to see what it looks like without this node, you can click where the number is, off, on. And you can do that with any of these. Maybe the primaries, off, on. Maybe you don't like the curve, off, on. Anything you want to see. Then the next section over here, you have reds, blues, cyans, magentas, and yellows. So I've already masked out each one of these colors. So if I went to these yellows right here, right? As you see in the bottom left, if I go to this key, it's masked out all the yellows. Now anything I do, like you would do in primary section, would only do it to the yellows. So I could lower, brighten, I could change any kind of hues or colors, anything I do, the temperature, the contrast of it. That you can go to even the curves right here, and then there's different sections. The hue, this is the saturation, this is the luminosity. Maybe I want to change the saturation. I would just come to HDR, and I can mess with all the saturation right here of that color. You can come to skin tones and turn this on if you want. And you go to the qualifier and click and drag across it. And then you can mess with just the skin tones. So maybe I want to let me get a better selection there. Maybe I need to take some highlights down. As you see, the highlights go down, up. Maybe I need to correct the skin tones a little bit, make them warmer or colder. Turn off this section and drag it in. So you see it's changing skin tones. I'll turn that off. You have the glow. If you want to make it the image a little bit more glowy, you can turn it on and off by clicking the numbers. And then sharpen's already set. Now soft is if you want to make your image a tad bit softer. You turn this on and just go over to primaries and mid, MD, and the lower you make it, the softer your image will be. So I already have a black mist filter on my lens, so if you want to make it softer you can, but I like what this is right now without it. I use a 1/8 black mist from Newer, or a 1/4, and I also use a 2:5 ND mist edition from Freewell. But lately I've been really enjoying the 1/8 And then you have halation and grain, which you need the paid version to use these. But you can go into these to mess with them. So halation, all the settings to mess with this. And then grain effects, can mess with the grain right here. And I can come, maybe I want to see what this one looks like. I'll double click, find a section. Maybe I like this right here. 4, 5, click, drag, over here, click, color grade, gallery, over, right click, apply grade. Right click, clean up node graph. Now, if you don't want to keep having to clean up node graph and you want to make your own color grades, so let's say you want to make your own power grades. So let's say I go to LUTs, right? And I like this one. Let's see. And I right click and hit apply to current node. Come back to gallery. I can actually right click and hit grab steel. And now it's right here. So let's say I reset all node grades again. Now I can right click right here, and now you have this already set and ready to go with that LUT. And then you can come in here and do anything you need. Remember, you can go to gain and everything. I usually just mess with the gain. Sometimes I'll mess with the offset or gamma if I need to, if I want more contrast and things. And you can right click, change label. Maybe I'll name it Bliss. I don't know. And then now you have that one ready to go. And if you want to apply the power grade to all your clips, so you don't have to do it individually and keep applying to each one. Let's first add a power grade. Let's just say this one. And this is the one we chose earlier. So now I want to add this to this clip. Instead of going here, going back to color, going to gallery and bliss, the fastest way to do this would go over here, right click, copy, click, and highlight all the clips you want. Right click, paste attributes, click, make sure color correction is selected, and then apply. And now all your clips will have the same color grade in your timeline. And if you need to color match it more, then you can always mess with the temperature and other settings. Another thing I want to go over is stabilizing your footage. So let's say I want to make this stable. I'm going to right click, go to the stabilization area. I usually keep it on similarity. You can try each one. And then I'll go all the way up and I'll hit stabilize. And now there should not be any problems. Translation. Try each one and just see which one you like the most. And if you feel you want to keep the stabilization lower to have less crop, and that's fine. You just got to see what you like the best. Now, for GoPro, pretty much the same process. It's just not converted, but it's already set up for GoPro. So I'm just gonna double click on this. I'm actually click on the audio right here, and I'm gonna delete it. So this is straight from the GoPro. All you have to do is same process. I'm gonna click on here. I'm gonna go to the bottom. I'm gonna go to Powergrade 3, and here's the GoPro Powergrade. I'm just gonna go over here, right click, apply grade, and let me reset it. And now this is done. And then if you want to add, a LUT, same process. You click on right here, LUTs, maybe blissful burnout, apply to current node, and now it's got a little bit. And then if you want more, you can always add more. I keep mine pretty low on this. Now for the last thing I wanted to go over is for Instagram. Let's say I wanted to add this clip to Instagram. well, Instagram is vertical, so I'm gonna go File, Project Settings, switch to 1080p, use vertical resolution, and save. Click right here. I'm gonna go -90 and rotation angle. Click 1.78. And then I'm gonna go right here and hit right click. I'm gonna get mark in, mark out with 4 and 5. That's what I have it set to. Then I go to this last little tab over here. And for my Instagram settings, type in FPV clip, find a location, and then I switch to H.265. I keep my frame rate at 25, so that's what it was shot in. Restrict to, I go to 45,000. And keep it on main 10, add to render queue, save it to an area, and hit render all. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was a good help for you, and I hope this will make your color grading much quicker. I've been researching this for a while, and this has been the most quick process for me. And if you have any questions, please write in the comments and like and subscribe. And I'm happy to help with any problems you might have or any questions. Thanks so much.